Welcome back, everybody, to season 4. This is episode 2 in the new series, Get Your Shit Together. We are in this together. And if you haven't listened to episode 1 yet, definitely go back because I explain all about this series for season 4 and how each week builds upon the last. So definitely don't miss episode 1 because there is a very crucial action step in there. So go back and listen to that if you haven't yet. And if you have, let's proceed straight into episode 2. Like I mentioned in episode 1, I want these to be very concise episodes. So again, if you don't know what this series is, go back and listen to it so that I don't have to recap anything and keep this episode nice and short. So episode 2 is all about letting go of our excuses. If we are not where we want to be, and of course, life throws things our way, we can't control everything. But for the most part, if we are not happy with our lives, chances are we've been making excuses and possibly a lot of them. So today we're going to be addressing those excuses, learning how to let go of them, and just becoming more self-aware of how we are truly in control of our lives in the majority of the time. And it's up to us to change our lives if we truly want to. So we have to let go of excuses and understand and become self-aware of how we have been holding ourselves back. It's so easy to blame someone else or blame a situation or be mad at life. But if something isn't going our way and we are not achieving the things we want to achieve, we have to look within and become self-aware at how we've been holding ourselves back. And self-awareness is one of the first steps, if not the first step in doing that, in creating change, because how can we change if we don't even know what we need to change? So becoming self-aware is a huge, huge factor. So we will be doing that today and just facing our excuses head on. So let's jump straight into it. Again, these episodes, I want them to be super digestible and concise. So we're going to get straight into the reflective questions today. And there's an action step at the end that is a must. I have done this so many times and I'll talk about it in a few minutes, but I do not want you to skip today's action step. After the questions, you can either write down the questions and reflect on them or just think about them, but I want you to take the time. Writing, in my opinion, is better because you can kind of reflect a little bit more and really work through some thoughts and feelings. But if you just want to think about them and put some thought into each one, that's totally fine. But do not skip the action step for today. It's something I've done many times and has helped me really release things from my past and have space to welcome in who I want to be and what I want to achieve. So let's get straight into the reflective questions. The first one I want you to reflect on and hopefully write it down is, what excuses do you need to give up? We all have excuses we have made, and some of them we might make once or twice. Other ones we might literally make every day of our lives. And yes, there are things that we think we can't control, like time or our schedule, but I want you to look at how that is too possibly an excuse. I want you to look at how you are in control of a chaotic situation or a crazy schedule or having a lack of time. How can you create more time? So that is just one excuse that you may be recognizing that you have given yourself for, could be years, could be months, whatever. So what excuses do you need to give up? And really try to come up with every excuse that you've used, whether that is in regards to one specific goal that's really important to you, or maybe excuses you use on a regular basis in regards to many different goals or habits or things that you want to change. Examine your excuses. So time obviously is a huge one. Priorities, like even something like people pleasing is an excuse because we're putting others before ourselves and our own needs. Not having money is like another big excuse people use. And that could be in regards to many different things that we are unhappy with in life. So really try to examine like the main excuses you use, whether it's once in a while or every single day. I'm too tired, I'm too lazy. Those are all excuses. So First question, what excuses do you need to give up? Second question, what traits do you need to release in order for your next level self to shine through? So last week we got clarity on who we want to be. And so it may have triggered things in you that is like, oh, well, I need to change this to get to this. So what traits do you need to release in order to welcome in those traits that you wrote down last week, those feelings you desire to have on a daily basis? What do you need to give up? Is it feeling like you're lazy? Is it procrastinating? Is it wasting time doing mindless things like watching hours and hours of TV or scrolling mindlessly on your phone? Is it being negative or complaining about your situation? That is a trait that maybe we want to give up in order to take accountability for where we're at and what we do with our time. So what traits do you need to release in order for your next level self to shine through? And the last question that we're going to be talking about today in regards to excuses is, how have you been holding yourself back? So yes, you may have already listed excuses out, but I want you to really reflect deep on how you have been holding yourself back and what that means to you in regards to who you want to be and your future. So how have you been holding yourself back, and what does that mean to you in regards to your future? What will happen if you continue to hold yourself back, if you continue to make excuses? What is your future going to look like? Who are you going to become? Are you going to stay exactly as you are? Or is it going to be worse down the road? Are you going to be even unhappier, even more miserable, feeling even more stuck? So really examine where you see yourself going if you stay with these excuses. So those are our 3 questions. What excuses do you need to give up? What traits do you need to release in order for your next level self to shine through? And how have you been holding yourself back? And how will that affect your future? So reflect on those, and then let's just get straight into the action step for today, which I guess after the reflective questions would be the second action step. I want you to write yourself a letter that is finally releasing everything that you're ready to let go of. Everything you just wrote down or reflected on that you are finally ready to let go of and stop making excuses for. Basically, letting go of everything that you no longer want to claim as part of who you are and as part of your life. Write yourself a letter to your past self saying, I am so grateful for where you've gotten me, but I need to let you go for this reason. I am ready to let you go, and I'm ready to welcome in and create space for who I really want to be and the life that I want to have. I have done this so many times, and it is very therapeutic. It is very healing, and it creates that sense of self-awareness and accountability that you are ready for change. And it doesn't mean you're going to completely let go of everything. Yes, you may, but don't beat yourself up if these traits come back a little bit. It is just allowing you space to finally release them and create more awareness around them so that when they do arise, if they arise, some of them you may just be fully ready to let go. When they do arise, you will be more aware and ready to take action to let that trait go. And then before you know it, they're not going to be creeping up as much anymore. And then eventually, hopefully, they will stop forever. So I want you to finally release this past version of yourself that you are so desperately ready to let go of. Because the more space we hold for these traits, these habits, these feelings, the less space we have for the person that we actually want to welcome into our lives, the person that we actually want to be, the habits we want to have, the traits that we want to have. Everything you wrote down from the last episode, episode 1, you need to create space in your mind, your heart, your soul, your body. Our body holds on to a lot of stress and tension when we are having these mental blocks and inner struggles. So physically and mentally, letting go of things that you're ready to let go of so that you have that space to actually welcome in who you want to be. So this is so crucial. Please do not skip this. I truly, truly believe in this activity. I've done it many times. I will continue to do this. And like I said in episode 1, we are doing this whole journey together. So I will be writing another letter to my past self of things that I am ready to let go of fully and finally now as who I am today, so that I am able to create more space for the traits and the habits that I want to welcome in. So I am really excited for this part. Please let me know if you need any support on this, or let me know how you're feeling afterwards. Like I said, it's very therapeutic. You might feel such a sense of release, like you can finally breathe, and maybe you feel less tension and stress. So please reach out to me. Let me know how you feel after this activity. And again, don't skip it, because next episode, episode 3, we are going to have an action step that builds upon this one. So go back to episode 1 if you haven't done that action step yet, complete that, and then do this action step of writing a letter to your past self and just fully let everything go that you're ready to let go of. So I'm going to be doing this later on today or tomorrow at the latest, and releasing things that I'm really ready to let go of. So we are in this together. Let's release our past selves, welcome in our new selves, and let's create our own truth.